welcome back to another video. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing to my channel. And while you're at it, smash that like button for me. I really would appreciate it. Also, hit that post notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. If you want some free cash from Webull, let me share with you the new Webull offer so that you guys can consider that if you feel like you want to. Here's the cash bonus offer from Webull. If you now when you open your new Webull brokerage account, here's the new offer. If you open your new Webull account, right, they're going to give you $200 in cash bonus if you deposit $2,000 to $10,000 in your new Webull brokerage account. They will give you $200 of cash bonus. If you decide to do $10,000 to $25,000 in your new Webull brokerage account, they'll give you $400 cash bonus. Now, for all the details, guys, go to the first link in the description box and click on the Webull link, and it'll give you all the details. They got some options, right? They got different cash bonus options. I just gave you the top two, but I believe there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in total. So the more money you put into your Webull brokerage account, the more opportunity for some free cash bonus. So go check out that offer. Like I said, it's the first link down in the description box of the video. And like I said, go check it out. If it's something that you want to take part in, click on the link and it'll give you all the details. All right, let's jump in to this, this craziness that's happening right now. Some craziness with these four companies led by the 900-pound silverback gorilla, which is Nvidia. You got Nvidia, you got Applied Digital, you got NVTS, and you got CoreWeave. You got these four companies that are, something's brewing. If you've been paying attention to what's been happening to these companies' stock price today in the stock market, all of them are experiencing craziness, right? In a good way, right? For shareholders. If we look at CoreWeave, what it started out today, I think CoreWeave yesterday on Monday closed at $120 a share, and then pre-market this morning it was about 125 through pre-market, and then it opened at 125, and then it went all the way up to, shoot, man, I think it had a high of around 150. It may have even closed at 150. Let me just take a quick peek here. So CoreWeave closed at 150.48. You're talking about a $30 per share increase from the opening price. And after hours, it's currently at 155.70. And a lot of people are saying, well, what in the world is going on? What is all of this excitement about this CoreWeave? And again, guys, I'm not here to try to be this is not financial advice. I'm just telling you my opinion on these four companies. I'm not telling you need to buy nothing or do anything, but my YouTube is about just sharing with you guys my opinion on certain things that that may be a potential for me to invest in. You don't have to do anything. This is complete entertainment for you. So here's the thing. You know, CoreWeave has a has a crazy day, right? It's just crazy, right? So then you go look at APLD, right? Applied Digital. And you say to yourself, well, goodness gracious, if CoreWeave had that kind of day, what did Applied Digital do? So we go look at APLD, right? So if I look at APLD, let's look at what it did today, and then we're going to talk about this craziness that I believe is just starting, right? So here we go on Applied Digital Corp. It opened at $10.70. The high was $10.71. The low was $9.60. But that doesn't tell you the whole story. You got to go look at Applied Digital a week ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, right? When it was flirting with, $4.50 a share territory, right? So it has come a long ways in a short period of time. And one of the reasons, I believe personally, one of the reasons you've seen this excitement in the stock price is because of a partnership that they have found themselves in. And I'm gonna share with you what that partnership is. It's Applied Digital shares rip. This is the headline from CNBC. Applied Digital shares rip 48% higher on a $7 billion CoreWeave AI lease agreement. That's crazy. Let me give you the key points. CoreWeave and Applied Digital have signed 2 long-term lease agreements for artificial intelligence data centers, according to a release. Shares of Nvidia-backed CoreWeave climbed about 8%, while Applied Digital shares rose more than 48%. See, I told you today wasn't giving you the full story, right? You got to really go back and look at Applied Digital over the last several weeks to see the full story, right? But they're giving it to you here. CoreWeave will provide AI and high performance computing infrastructure for the Applied Digital data center campus in North Dakota. Starting to make sense a little bit, right? Starting to make sense why Applied Digital just took off. Why CoreWeave? Now, some people might say, well, goodness, Richard, hey, who is CoreWeave? I mean, and again, I'm not here to give you the whole history of CoreWeave. You can go out online really quickly and find out the history on CoreWeave, right? You can find out the history, but real quickly, it's a company that IPO'd in March of 2025. And here's something that really helped them, in my opinion. This is what kind of, backstopped them. This is just my opinion. Nvidia holds a stake in CoreWeave and invested $100 million in April 2023 before the stock started trading. It increased its stake by $250 million ahead of CoreWeave's downsized initial public offering on March 28, 2025. So now you got Nvidia, who, pre-IPO, post-IPO, or pre-IPO, post-IPO, if I'm not mistaken, you guys go do your fact check on that. But nevertheless, Nvidia has 24 million shares of CoreWeave stock. And from my research, that's about 7% of the outstanding shares. This is what Nvidia has from a shareholder standpoint in CoreWeave. See how it's all starting to kind of make a little sense, right? But here's how we're going to tie it in even more. Check this one out. This is how we're going to tie it in even more. We're going to complete it. We're going to close the circle here. Nvidia held roughly 7.7 million shares of Applied Digital and 24.2 million shares of CoreWeave as of March 31, according to a regulatory filing. CoreWeave provides its clients with access to data centers, which are used to develop artificial intelligence models. Okay, data centers. How does that fit with Nvidia? Why? They make chips for these data centers. Starting to make sense? See, this relationship between Applied Digital and CoreWeave, the common thread are data centers. Who provides the most advanced chips in the world for data centers? Nvidia. Does this thing starting to make a little sense here? See, you have a company like Nvidia who goes out and purchases 7.7 million shares of Applied Digital, they go out and purchase 24 million shares of CoreWeave. Now, all of a sudden, you got a CoreWeave and an Applied Digital partnership. And who do you think is backstopping this whole thing? The 900-pound silverback gorilla. Is it starting to make a little more sense why what we're seeing to start mushroom, right? You see Nvidia, let's see what Nvidia did today stock price-wise. Now, of course, this is the 900-pound gorilla, second most valuable company in the world. But let's see what they did today. Just so that we can tie this thing all together and bring it full circle here. Let's go, Nvidia stock. Here we go. So Nvidia opened at 138.78. They got all the way up to 142. The low was 137.95. If you recall, on April 3rd this year, where, somewhere in that week of the April 2nd week when we did the Liberation Day, Nvidia, sometime shortly after Liberation Day, got down to about $85 a share. Today, it hit a intraday of $142 a share. Less than 2 months ago, about 2 months ago. So they go from around $85 a share right after Liberation Day, or a week after Liberation Day, somewhere in early April. The stock price goes down to 85 a share. And again, in my opinion, that was market behavior. I don't think it had anything to do with Nvidia as a company. And why do I say that? Because they just came out with their Q1 earnings where they beat everything, top line, bottom line, right? Right? They had a wonderful Q1. So obviously there's nothing wrong with the company as it relates to its revenue or its EPS or any of that stuff, right? Now, there are some line items in there in the company and some of their revenue, their smaller revenue sources. Now, of course, the main revenue source is what, guys? What is NVIDIA's main revenue source? Data centers. Data centers. Data centers, which that's where the majority of their revenue comes from, is providing advanced chips to these data centers or these hyperscalers and others, right? So NVIDIA ramping up. How far they will go, no one knows. But right now, they closed today at $141.22, right? Now, we got one more company to tie into this to really bring this thing full circle, right? We got one more company that we got to tie into this thing. And that company is NVTS. That's the ticker symbol. NVTS collaborates with NVIDIA for efficient 800V HVDC architecture. Starting to make sense, right? Starting to make sense. Remember, about a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago, at worst 2 weeks ago, remember, NVTS was about $1.90 a share. It was about $1.90, and then all of a sudden, the market closed. NVIDIA announces its partnership with NVTS. After hours, the stock takes off. And then it's been hovering in that $5 and up, gets down a little below $5. Like today, it went, let's see what it did today. I think today it went above $6 a share at one point in the day. I don't believe it closed there, but I do believe it went above that NVTS. So it opened today at $5.82. The high was $6.59. The low was $5.44. So some people have asked me, well, why do you think it? Well, I think the partnership with Nvidia, the 900-pound silverback gorilla. I mean, come on, man. In my opinion, again, I'm not trying to be I'm not an analyst. I'm not trying to be some professional, guys. I'm just giving you my opinion. My opinion is when you have a company like Nvidia, Second most valuable company from market cap standpoint in the world, right? You know, doing over 45 billion a quarter in revenue, 44, something like that, right? Getting close. When you got a company like that and you decide to partner with a smaller company, you become, one, in my opinion, you know, Nvidia is the gold standard. When you talk about artificial intelligence ecosystem, and you're talking about the most important companies in that ecosystem, and I think Nvidia is at the top of they're at the top of the food chain. In my opinion, others will disagree, but in my opinion, when you talk about artificial intelligence and where it's headed, you got to put Nvidia at the top of the food chain, because it requires, at least at this point, it requires advanced chips to make all this stuff work. And they're the best in the world at it. I'm not saying they'll be the best in the world forever. I'm just saying right now, in my opinion, they're the best in the world at making these advanced chips. So they sit at the top of the food chain. They're at the top of the pecking order when it comes to artificial intelligence. So when a company like that reaches out, since it's the gold standard, it reaches out and touches another smaller company to partner with or buy shares in that company, it's sort of like gold standard adjacent. They kind of become the gold standard too, because they're kind of tied into Nvidia. Now, again, I don't know if that'll continue. I'm just saying right now, it appears that's what's happening with these four companies. Nvidia has touched these companies by way of direct partnership or by way of becoming a shareholder. And now all of a sudden, investors look at these companies and perk up a little bit. Oh my goodness. You mean to tell me the 900-pound silverback gorilla is involved? Why? What's cooking? What's happening? Why is things going crazy with these four companies' stock, right? So here's the relationship between Nvidia and NVTS. Here's my little research, Yahoo Finance. You guys go out and fact check this. This is not financial advice. This is just me giving you my opinion on four companies that I like. That's all it is. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not telling nobody to go do nothing. All I'm doing is just giving you my little 2 cents. Please go out and do your own homework. I don't want nobody saying I told them to do anything, because I'm not telling you to do nothing. This is strictly me giving you my opinion on my YouTube channel. That's all it is. So go out and do your own fact check, homework, whatever you want to do, disagree, whatever you want to do, go do it. But don't come to me saying, oh, you told me that. No, I didn't tell you nothing. I'm just giving you my opinion. So here's a relationship between Nvidia and NVTS. So in May 2025, NVTS experienced a remarkable price surge of 149%. Yeah. Go back and look at the stock price 3 weeks ago. Just go to Yahoo Finance, put NVTS in the ticker in the search bar, hit enter, go down to the historical data, and look at the stock price 2 or 3 weeks ago. So, and this is coming from Yahoo Finance. This is where I'm getting this information. In May 2025, NVTS experienced a remarkable price surge of 149%, likely buoyed by several significant developments. The company announced a collaboration with Nvidia to innovate an efficient 800V HVDC architecture, aligning with growing trends of AI applications and power efficiency. This partnership potentially contributed to heightened market interest amidst positive, broader stock market conditions. Additionally, the launch of advanced power solutions, including the 12 kilowatt power supply unit for AI data centers, may have bolstered investor confidence. Meanwhile, overall market trends remained favorable, and despite NVTS's recent earnings challenges, its strategic moves in high demand sectors likely enhanced investor optimism. And that's really all it is, guys. It's just optimism, right? We know that a part of what really fuels the stock market is momentum and optimism. Nothing wrong with that. Why? Because people are saying, okay, I got my